learned in an excellent Facebook discussion about oppositional defiance disorder. It's when a person does a thing that they know is annoying, but they've been doing it such a long time and being criticized for it for such a long time that they keep doing it just to own the person who's doing the critiquing. I think that's why Harley chose to give the third new Sportster since 1957 only 2 inches of rear suspension travel, just like the last Sportster had, and possibly the one before it either. Probably the reason why I dragged out my Street 750 Harley t-shirt, which is probably also oppositional emotional defiance. But not really, it was just an accident. So it's actually two inches of pretty good rear suspension travel since they've done away with the dual shocks on the new 2021 Sportster S, which is going to be the upscale model. It's actually got a linkage mounted, fully adjustable shock up under there. So if you hit some kind of, smooth bumps, it's not bad at all. It's when you hit the big ones that your coccyx is not going to really enjoy it that much. But we kind of expected that going in. I think what's going on is there must be a directive, I asked, but I think I heard a long time ago that they never want a seat to be higher than 30 inches. And this one's 29.6 inches tall, I think, so we had to keep it low. That's about my main complaint about the motorcycle, though. Like everything else, some other things that I was more worried about, like the big high mount exhaust system, that they were very proud that they were able to keep from the conceptual stages of this bike, remains in place. And it looks like it would really be hot, because we've ridden some of these that will really roast your legs on a hot day. But I actually had my jean leg, actually they're Dyneema jeans though, so maybe that helps, maybe they're fireproof. But there's not that much heat coming off there. There's a little bit of heat coming off the rear cylinder head, which you'd expect, but this has got rear cylinder deactivation, like most of Harleys do, that keep it kind of cool. So overall, it was up to 100, where we stopped for lunch, and not that much heat coming off the bike. There is heat coming off the asphalt and other things, but the bike is pretty good. The other thing that they really wanted to have was these big giant tires, because that's like a classic Harley styling theme from the old days too. And kind of worried that might make the bike steer a little funny, because the Fat Bob kind of has the same size tires on it. But this one has a completely new profile to the front Dunlop tire that's more triangular. And the thing, we took it up on Angela's Crest, and it goes around corners great. I think you could keep up with a lot of sport bikes on this motorcycle, as well as it goes around corners. It doesn't really steer that heavy at all like you'd expect it might. It goes into the corners pretty good. And the fact that it's got that big fat tire means it has like a bigger contact patch than most bikes do in front. So you can really feel the tire on this thing. It actually handles better than I thought it would with this completely new frame. Doesn't have a frame, just a small frame bolted to the engine at both ends. The engine is great. I mean, that would be the biggest reason that you'd buy this motorcycle. The same Revolution Max 1250T. The T denotes this one's a little bit different than the same engine in the Pan America, which they rated 121 horsepower instead of 150. They're both supposed to have 94 pound-feet of torque at 6,000 RPM. It's got variable valve timing too, and by 3,000 RPM, the thing is going. In addition to the ride modes that we've got like 5 ride modes, because there's rain, road, sport, and then there's 2 custom ones you can do too. Put it in sport mode, you need to be hanging on, because by 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, the thing is scooting. It goes great. Transmission shifts fine. We've got a slip assist clutch now, which means you can bang downshifts and not have to worry about skipping the back tire. Not that I ever worried about that anyway much, but because I'm an expert. Instrument panel is new. It's got the TFT display, of course, and if you mate that to your cell phone, then of course you can control your music with the things on both sides. Don't let me forget to mention, this one comes with cruise control standard. No extra charge. It's about a $15,000 bike, so it should. But that's not that bad. It also comes with heated grips that have their own button. When it gets chilly, that's always a nice thing to have. Yeah, the other problem with the not much suspension travel would be the forward-mounted foot pegs, which is kind of, old bug. I'm not a fan of them. Lots of sport riders are not really a fan of them. I can get by with them sometime. But on here, the problem is that when your foot is way up here and you hit a bump, it just comes up through your coccyx or whatever that is. And it's not good. But the beauty of that is that they also are making available a mid-mount foot peg set for this bike, which moves the foot pegs to where they should actually be. If you're riding a horse, you don't stick your feet up under the horse's chin. You're going to put them right down there so that when the foot pegs are in the right place, then your body's able to absorb the jolts along with the suspension, because the seat's not exactly thick either. I got to ride the bike with the Midmounts a little bit up on Angeles Crest and all, and I feel like that would be, I'd have to spend that $660 that they charged for that before it left the showroom for me. And I think it transforms the motorcycle and makes it much more rideable. It's much better in town because there's a lot of bumps. It's Los Angeles. We're riding around in Los Angeles, going up to Angeles Crest. I thought they'll probably take us on the smooth route, but then I got here and started riding. Remember, there's no smooth route. We don't have one here. So I think overall, at the end of the day, I had a very positive impression of this motorcycle. The one thing that bugs me the most, the limited travel out back, is not really a problem once you get your feet in the right place with the right foot pegs on there. Other than that, we've got some, I know Harley's really proud of this motorcycle. I don't blame them. You've got traces of XR 750 in the tail section and the fuel tank. And of course, everybody loved the Sportster for being the old air-cooled classic that it was. And this one, of course, is liquid-cooled. It kind of has to be to pass emissions and things just about anymore. But they did a pretty nice job of concealing most of the cooling hardware. The radiator's not that obtrusive, and there's only one or a couple. The hoses are pretty. They're not sticking out like they do on a Ducati Monster or something and draw your attention away. Overall, I think they did nice styling, but styling is so subjective. Who cares what I think? But yeah, it's all about the thing scoots on the road. It's got lots of power, and that's what the Sportster was always about, performance from the start. And it maybe got a little away from performance over the years and became more of a fashion statement and a basis to exhibit your oppositional defiant disorder. I think it's a lot of the way back to being a performance bike now that peels out, spins the back tire. It's also got an IMU with lean sensitive traction control, lean sensitive anti-lock brakes to keep you from hurting yourself, like all good modern motorcycles all have that now. So I think it's a move into the 21st century for Harley. You know, a lot of people criticize, and you know, we love our old Sportster. How could you change it? There's about 8 million used Sportsters on the market. Pick yourself one up for cheap, because I think the price on them will go down as people begin adopting these new ones. So that's about all I got to say at this point. You'll have to go to Motorcycle.com to read the full test. It'll have all the specs and all the other things that I have time to think about when I haven't just gotten off the motorcycle like an hour ago and it's still kind of a blur. So go over to Motorcycle.com. If you like it, you know, you hit the like button. If you don't like it, I can't help you. I do what I can do.